got the vision, always hitting precision. beyond, spitting fast like it's a heat wave mission. Yeah, guy got the joke, she's the rules straight in. You know the plot's caught, looking every episode's a hit. Sports talk, life talk, yeah, we cover it all. From the field to the studio, we answer the call. Back up to the Eagles, got the steps on deck. Rapping that fast and little rap, respect. We breaking news, reviews, highlights too. Got the fans locked in, it's a Valley crew.
Welcome back. We had ACDC, and apparently they thought we needed POD this week.
Like that was intense. That was great.
It's always something. Always something different.
Never failed.
No.
What's up,
How was everyone's sports weekend?
Pretty good. Paul, if you guys just would have kicked some field goals, you might have had a chance. But
we left so many points on the field, it made no damn sense.
it's every week.
It's always something stupid. It's hilarious at this point. It is quite frankly hilarious to lose the way we're losing. And it's one of my cousins said that you have a mindset of losing. No, I have a mindset that we need to lose because there's nothing to win for at this point. So why would I want to win at this end of the season? And what makes it even hilarious, he's a Cowboys fan and he gets excited right now. And I'm like, you guys winning is hurting y'all's draft spot. You moron.
You got to remember who ownership is, though.
It's just wild that Cowboy fans are excited for winning. I'm like, you're losing every time you win.
We're on the opposite side of this. Charles catches me with this all the fucking time, like all the time. He said, as a Packer fan, why do you criticize and why are you pointing out the mistakes? We won. What else can you be happy for? And Dan told me to bring this up on the show today. He goes, why is it, and this is a Packer fan thing, and this is a diehard Packer fan thing, why do we bitch and complain after a win? I said, because we're not used to fucking losing. That's why we have to have something to bitch about. And I thought about it, and I'm like, yeah, since the freaking 90s, nobody's alive that really remembers the 80s when we were terrible.
Right.
There isn't a lot of people.
No, there's not. And
even the losing seasons that you've had in the last 20, 30 years, they don't last long.
Oh my God, they weren't terrible.
And not even just that. They only last for a year or two, and then it just disappears like it never happened.
Yeah, and I think that we were spoiled, and that's why it is the way that it is.
But on the other side of that token, even though you're winning, it's not so much that you guys are bitching and complaining. Y'all are catching the mistakes that are careless. It's one thing if Jordan Love throws the ball and the receiver tips it and it becomes an interception. That's not on Jordan Love. That's on the receiver because he's the one that caused the interception.
Oh, right.
You know what I'm saying? But there's, again, as a fan, you want almost the nearly perfect game from your team. And when you don't get that, it becomes you guys nitpick. Me, I don't know what that feels like because we suck. So I'm nitpicking every day.
I get that. I do hear that more from the casual everyday fans,
right,
per se. A lot of the conversations I end up with nowadays are like really hyper-focused on a singular viewpoint, per se. A cornerback conversation or a linebacker conversation overall. But the other thing, too, I think that Green Bay Packer fans have adopted is the Matt LaFleur mindset.
Yeah.
If we're being honest, I think it's the Matt LaFleur mindset. Even his last couple, the Seattle game, was it ever in doubt? Was it ever really in question?
No.
There was a moment where people thought the defense needed to step up. That was the 30-20.
Gino went out. It was pretty much downhill for them.
And after Gino went out, yeah.
Offensively, it was down.
Yeah.
Because to think that Sam Howell was going to be this quarterback to backup to come out of emergence and just lead the Seahawks against the Green Bay Packers, you're delusional.
I told you.
The crowd.
Oh, you ever want a starting job at North
Carolina? Losing Gino took the air out the crowd.
What, dude? It was the second quarter. It was like 7-3, and you could hear "Go Pack, Go" chants, and we were on offense.
Yeah. There was a lot of Go Pack. There was a lot of Packer fans.
There was a lot of Packers that traveled to Seattle, which is crazy.
That was the second quarter, bro.
And it's like you can see Geno Smith with his helmet on, just upset because he knew he was pretty much done for the rest of the game. And
the Bills did it the week prior.
Yeah,
from my understanding.
I'm
or
like,
a couple weeks prior.
Yeah.
it. If they would have had Geno still, I'm pretty sure the analysts would have gave them a sliver of a chance just because it's just the way that the media is. But without having that quarterback, without having Geno, Seattle was pretty much dead in the water against Green Bay.
Especially
Especially
like him not having a receiver go past 10 yards that he could hit
Right.
wide open. Geno Smith was fantastic for about 2 quarters.
Was it his ankle that he got that it was hurt? Was it
No,
ankle?
he said it ended up being his knee, but he was asking for a low hit. He was asking for the flag. And the guys, if both of his feet aren't on the ground, it can't be a low hit. So
It wasn't even that bad. I mean,
no,
it wasn't bad at all.
He brushed him with it was his hands. He just got him across the kneecap, and I don't know if he tripped over his own 2 fucking feet or what, because
I don't know.
It wasn't the hit that took him down.
No,
Maybe he landed awkwardly on him,
I
or
think he was
just how
trying to get
moved.
away from the hit, and that's what he did. He did it to himself.
But defensively, we were much better this week
Yeah.
than against the Lions.
Oh yeah.
What showed up this week is what I had anticipated against the Lions. I was upset about that.
Oh, blitz, pressure. Yeah.
But back to my point there, and you were making, the Matt LaFleur mindset has been, no matter what we've done so far,
Yeah.
there's things we still could have done better.
Yeah.
For example, we saw 4 significant 0 blitz plays, and we only capitalized on 1 of them. Now, the one, you had Jaden Reed slip, but the other 2, Jordan just missed in its entirety. And finally, it ended up coming through with the Romeo Doubs catch. But those are some of the things that Jordan still needs to work on. Arguably, I think Jordan Love's biggest thorn is blitz.
I have a question for y'all.
Yep.
Because I've noticed this the last few weeks, especially because you guys have brought it up. Why is it that when Jordan Love gets hot with a receiver, he towards the end of the game, he tends to wean off of them and tries to force it other ways? Does that make? I don't know if that made sense.
No, it does. I guess my best explanation for that, maybe Patrick has a better one after this, but my best explanation is Jordan Love comes from an area where, you know, his entire sports world has just been the field, not one person. And that's just who he's been, man. It's one of the things we praised early on about him was the fact that, like, he was getting 280, 350-yard games, but there would be like 9 receivers that caught a ball that game.
Yeah.
And normally with Rodgers or even Favre,
you got that 1 or 2.
Yeah, if you had more than 4 guys catch a ball, it's because a couple people got hurt.
Yeah. I just didn't understand it. Sometimes in the beginning, like again in the first half, he's, you know, like whether it's Dobbs or
Watson,
you know,
or Reed,
they'll catch fire. They get 2, 3, 4 catches, get 60, 70 yards in the first half, and then all of a sudden they just disappear in the second half. They're not getting targets.
Well, it's like Romeo got, and the other kicker too is it might be defense.
Right. I'm like, you're right.
If I told you create a defensive game plan for the Green Bay Packers offensive weapons, what are you doing?
I'm shutting down Jacobs first.
Okay, so you're going to contain Love. You're going to shut down Jacobs. There's going to be a third option. Who is it? You're not going to know until halftime of that game. And then you go in and you create a halftime adjustment. You take away his third option and you hope he doesn't find another one.
Right. You're
And
basically
sometimes
pulling
it's
a Bill Belichick.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a wild stat that I broke open, and I opened this can of worms. But this is the reason why the Packers struggled early on in the season, and even without Jordan Love, and they're continuing to struggle with this season. It's not necessarily a negative thing, but it's something obviously we would like to see improve. Green Bay last year on 3rd and short, 47.9%. This year on 3rd and short, what do you think that percentage is?
38.
Yeah, 37.9. That's 10% difference. That's a lot. That's a lot. On 3rd and short. I'm talking about 3rd and short. They're not calling great plays on 3rd and short.
3 yards or less, basically.
Yeah.
I would say there's 3 specific areas, and with the Green Bay Packers, I would say there's 3 specific areas.
But obviously these are fixable things. Most of it is play calling. It's not necessarily execution. It's just play calling.
I think 2 of the 3 are play calling. Absolutely. I think our red zone play calling needs to be better. I think our third down play calling needs to be better, and our special teams needs to be better. I think those three things are what we're building towards. But again, man, it's
Because I'm going to give you
I
the
s-
top. I'll give you the top 7 teams, and every
yeah.
one of these teams is a playoff team outside of maybe one. So you got KC 51%, Baltimore 49, Tampa Bay 48, Cincinnati 48, Detroit 47, Philly 45, Washington 45. All those are good football teams. There's a reason why those teams are so good. They're converting on third downs.
Now, here's a question. And I don't know if we're going to know this, but it would be interesting to look into and find it. But what are our third down and shorts compared to others? How many have
Probably
we had? Have we had less opportunities to convert third and short? Yeah, that was tough. Are we more third and medium to long than we are third and short on the season because Jacobs is making big plays and Watson is making big plays and
Basically,
this
you're asking how many of these third down plays are actually third and short versus third and 5 or longer, and because are you converting more third
Oh
and
no,
5?
these
You are.
these are all third and shorts.
That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
But are y'all more converting third and 5 that y'all don't
Well,
have
they're
to worry about third and short so
well,
often because Jacobs is giving y'all able to complete those second and 5s or third and 8s
well,
to the
he's
point.
yeah,
it does
well,
seem
maybe.
weird. It does seem weird that when we have 1 yard to get,
Y'all
we're the
struggle.
most basic white bitch run team in America.
Yeah, they've been
It's I
shut
mean
down quite a few times this year on
it's
third.
like no fullback,
No.
no movement, no motion.
Just running
It's
down the throat and it gets stopped.
everyone in the world knows that you're going to go right down the middle and the defense collapses.
And you got no protection.
So I think it'll get worked out. I think it'll get worked out.
And like Pat said, it's not a do or die thing. It's definitely something that can get adjusted over time, whether it's this year or moving forward. You're hoping that it gets fixed especially before the playoff starts, because not being able to convert on third and short is probably going to be detrimental to winning a game in the playoffs against an actual playoff team.
All right, Charles, I have the stats for you.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
The Green Bay averages 4.1 third downs per game, which would mean either you can take that as a positive or a negative.
It's not a lot.
Yeah, 4.1. Kansas City averages 7
Yeah.
a game. Yeah,
And
that's
they've been in a lot more one-score games than
that would make more sense if they're trying to move the ball at the end of
So
the.
I'm just like I agree with what you're saying. I don't, while you were saying it, I don't remember a lot of situations where Green Bay's third and short, other than the ones that we just haven't got.
Right.
And there's been a few of those, but for the most part, we're breaking a hella run on second down. We're making a crazy play action on first down. Hell, when you're moving down the football field on 6 plays, you don't see third down a lot when you're scoring plays. I think Green Bay, if I don't know the number, but if I had to guess the average number of plays on Green Bay's scoring drives, I would say 7.5 to 9. And I would
That's probably pretty average for most of the NFL, if I had to guess.
if we had to guess, yeah.
Green
When
Bay
you're looking at
Packers. I'm trying to see what they have here for stats. Average yards per play, 6.3 points per play, almost half a point per play. Rushing percentage, 51%. Passing percentage, 48%. Third down conversion, 37.9. Red zone scoring, 56.9. Opponents, I can't find it. It's something to look into. Maybe I'll try to find it next week.
Actually, the average number of plays per scoring drive in the NFL for the 2024 season is approximately 10 to 12. And the Green Bay Packers,
I would say they're probably middle of the road, maybe 12th, maybe 10th.
yeah, they average around 10 to 12 plays per scoring drive this season. So
Pretty average, yeah.
So they're pretty, but again, so closer to 9 plays per scoring drive. You're not going to find yourselves in a lot of third downs. Green Bay has, I guess I can see that. I think we average almost 30 points a game right now.
Here's the problem. When you have 4, 3, I think all 4 of them are close. All 4 of your losses are to opponents that you should have either beat or there was an issue that caused
They
you
were
to
all
lose
one
that
score.
game. Yeah. So
Our one score losses this year are to playoff teams.
now you're
in
starting to
one
break down.
position.
You're starting to
Yep.
break down the analytics, and that's when you start nitpicking the third down and ones, the third and short. Why didn't we get this one? Why didn't we get that one? Yeah, we look at it from a glass half empty type situation here.
Yeah, we're in a really good boat right now. We're averaging 27 points a game, and we're giving up 20. So we're averaging a touchdown more than we're giving up right now. And we had a couple dumbass games in there too, for being
Well,
honest.
they might
We gave up 30
actually,
points. Yeah, we gave up 30 points a couple times this season, and it's going to do that to you. It's going to take you out of the teens and put you in the 20s.
Jordan Love might get to sit the second half of this next game.
Saints, they've been playing tough. They haven't, now with a backup
quarterback who had a better opportunity to be a fashion model than he did actually a quarterback.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you.
I think
I
they're
haven't even seen this.
I believe they're 15-point favorites.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
If Jordan Love's only throwing the ball 20 times a game and we're scoring 30 plus points.
I believe Kamara's injured as well.
Yeah. So that one should be pretty basic. Yeah, the Monday night. Let's visit the Monday night games. Kirk Cousins, one of the worst quarterbacks while facing the Belichick.
Tell us how you really feel, Charles.
That dude's agent needs to be like, we need to find out who his agent is and start mentioning his name publicly.
Wait, yeah, you guys want to sponsor? You want to sponsor the podcast? You got any room to pick up any more talent here? You gotta give us a big contract.
Jesus. That dude can find us a job, I promise you.
Oh yeah, guaranteed.
He is not good.
Not this year. No.
The word on Michael Penix is he's playing scout team quarterback. So that dude ain't ready. So Atlanta's stuck with Kirky for at least this year, right? We're well past Thanksgiving and you're still on scout team quarterback.
Did you see Raheem Morris? He said, let me pull it up. Let me find it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I'm really glad you're about this.
He's not fully decided on his QB1 moving forward.
Yeah. No? So can we stop blaming Kirk Cousins and just recognize that Raheem Morris was a terrible hire?
No.
And I might get some fire for this, and I'm glad that you said no, but here's my point with this. When Kirk Cousins was with the Minnesota Vikings, in his time there, he threw 68 play-action touchdowns, which was the most in the league. He has 0 so far for Atlanta. How much does Atlanta run the ball? Not enough.
But that's been a problem since last year, even before.
Okay, so you're looking at a quarterback, and you see his strengths, and then you go, let's not do that. Let's do something else, and then blame you because we're not playing you for your strengths. So that's not an issue?
So here's the question I have for you then. So is he undecided about Kirk Cousins going into this week against the Giants? Because the season's pretty much...
It's on the line.
It's on the line. But I'm like, because you're still in contention for at least your division.
Yeah, they've
by
got
much.
They've got the Giants, Washington, and Carolina. Those are all 3 winnable games.
So why do you...
Defensively, they're worse than last year.
So my question then to Morris is, you got 3 winnable games that could possibly get you into the playoffs, especially this week. You're playing against the Giants.
Way too much.
Did you hear that, Paul? Did you hear that? Charles said that they don't run enough. He said,
"No, you have
throw
one
55% of the time.
They have one of the most electrifying running backs in Bijan Robinson. Trust me, I've watched him in Texas.
You're trying to do this random pistol shit with Kirk Cousins? This makes no sense to me.
Your focal offense should be Bijan Robinson, then the pass.
I'm not saying Kirk Cousins is a great quarterback here, but when you're given a gem and you look at it and go, yeah, no,
turning this fucker back into a turd.
I just don't understand. You're not playing to your team's strengths, but you're blaming everyone else around you for not playing better. That is a terrible head coach.
Yeah.
He was a terrible head coach before. He may have been a good coordinator. I'll give him that. But I'm
But
firmly
again,
on the
that
side of
goes
this dude's a terrible head coach.
that goes back to the same topic that I've said for years, and I've said it a shitload of times on here. Some people are just not meant to be head coaches and just meant to be coordinators, whether it's offense or defense. Listen, it's okay.
You guys know all about that.
It's okay to be a coordinator for your career. There's been plenty.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot
Listen,
of money.
it's all right. Some people you're just not meant to lead a team. You're just meant to be on one side of the ball, and that's it.
Some people fly the plane. Some people park the plane. But the plane doesn't move without both those motherfucking people.
Just know your lane.
And I don't want to listen, I'm not fucking sitting here saying Kirk Cousins is a great quarterback. Okay, but Kirk Cousins isn't a terrible quarterback.
No, he's a gunslinger.
He's a what did Cam Newton say? He's a game manager.
Yeah, we could.
He's not elite. He's not elite. He's not elite. He's not a top. He's a game manager. But again, he's not managing the game the way that he should. Because
listen,
you have Bijan Robinson behind you, man. Like, what are we doing?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, I shoot skeet pretty decent with a shotty, right? Like a 20 gauge.
Like a normal.
I'm gonna go out there. You give me 50 targets. I'm gonna get you 37 to 43 consistently. I'm gonna get you 37 to 43 out of 50 consistently, right? Now, give me an elephant gun. There's no way I hit fucking 37 to 43 consistently with a fucking elephant gun. Why? Because the material you're giving me is different than what I used to get the original 37 to 43 number. And so what are you doing?
And what's funny is for the last 2 years,
you don't have a god at quarterback. You have Kirk Cousins. You have to play to his strengths.
Just even last year with Arthur Smith as the head coach, how many times have people said, you're not using Bijan Robinson? Like,
why are we talking about Kirk Cousins?
You have a second-year running back that not only is he a gem, you drafted him in the first fucking round.
You guys are fucking him so hard, he's about to go be a Disney star. That's seriously what's happening with this kid.
Would you be surprised if he walked after his rookie contract?
No, he's going to make more money in Hollywood.
All right, so check this out. All right, Bijan Robinson is 5th in the league in rushing yards, 1,102 rushing yards, only on 237 attempts.
Imagine if they used him 30 to 40 times a game.
Saquon has 50 more rushing attempts and only 500 more yards rushing.
What about Jacobs?
Yeah, Jacobs only has,
because he's third in rushing, right?
Yeah, Jacobs only has 40 more yards than him.
Yeah, but carries though. Carries has got to be.
Jacobs has 30 more carries.
30 more carries. Yeah. So that's.
Imagine if Bijan had 30 to 40 more carries, right?
Well, he's averaging 40.7, and he had 30 more carries. That's 150, 170 more yards. So he's at 12. He's at 1250.
He could easily average between 15 and 18.
He'd be third place. He'd be ahead of Jacobs.
What's the Falcons' play action usage? Let me go to the AI.
But he's not getting the ball enough. He averages 4.7. He's only averaging 78 yards a game.
That's super low for me.
That's for a guy that gets
his caliber.
That's averaging 4.7 yards a carry. He's only averaging 78 yards a game.
Listen to this. Listen to this. Listen to this. Listen to this.
Yes, sir.
So I gave you the stat where I told you during his reign in Minnesota, he led the league.
He was the play action king. Yeah,
he's the play action king. The Atlanta Falcons have been using play action quite sparingly this season. They rank among the lowest in the NFL, with play action plays making up only 8% of their total plays. This is despite having quarterback Kirk Cousins, who has historically excelled with play action during his time with Washington and Minnesota. So I ask you again, is this a coach or a quarterback?
So let me ask you this. To play you for a second, let me be the devil's advocate. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So you're saying it's the head coach, right? So why is none of the blame is not going on the offensive coordinator? Because Raheem Morris technically is the defensive. So wouldn't it be more on the offensive coordinator? Yes, I would put blame because one, as the head coach, you hired him. I give you that much. However, you are giving the power for the offensive play to the offensive coordinator because you, as Raheem Morris, is a defensive-minded head coach. So you're going to have your hands more on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I think I would have sat at that table yesterday afternoon.
Yes.
all the way up until Morris went up to the podium and went, my quarterback has to play better.
The guy that took
Right?
over is Zach Robinson, and he was the passing game coordinator for the Rams when they won the Super Bowl.
So
I
he
mean,
brought him over from LA and
brought him
brought him
over
over
from
to Atlanta
LA. So
and promoted him to
arguably,
OC.
So
Yeah.
I'm just wondering why you have a guy who excels at play action, and you've decided this season with the elite running back you have to only incorporate it 8% of the time.
this is one of those
your
writing on the
argument.
wall type deals. They didn't even look at it. They didn't look at the script when they took the contract.
So again, are you cutting the head off the head coach, or are you cutting the head off the OC?
Both.
I mean,
I mean,
how the head coach hasn't noticed this by now?
It was his
I
call.
just think he's
It was his call to put
a
him there.
terrible head coach.
I'm saying he did hire the OC. So again,
It's both.
in this situation, whose head is on the chopping block? Are you getting rid
the
of
whole
both,
front,
or are you getting rid of the OC?
If I'm Arthur Blank, I'm getting rid of the whole front office.
Yeah.
I just
Top to
put
bottom.
254 into Kirk Cousins, and you're fucking this up. Fuck you.
You're 7-7.
I'm getting rid of the whole front office.
They got like the
bro.
same record
And
as they
you
had last year with a
barely
better
could've
quarterback.
And you
brought him
barely
Bill
beat the
crazy.
Raiders. Like the Raiders, you barely
can.
beat the Raiders. And it was
You
an
lost
ugly
that
score.
game.
It's like
at
the
that.
same
It was an
fucking
ugly
football
score.
team they had last year.
15-9.
It's
That's
fucking crazy.
15-9.
And you got Arthur Smith over there on the Steelers making Russell Wilson look pretty damn good. They did play the Philadelphia Eagles,
But again,
guess what?
Arthur Smith is
Philadelphia
probably
Eagles
a
are a
better.
good fucking
Arthur
football
Smith
team.
clearly just proved my point. You're
Yeah.
a better coordinator than you are a head coach
Coach.
because you're
But-
focused on one thing.
But Atlanta was better last year than they are this year.
I mean, they're better at the quarterback situation yet.
Not better at the quarterback. Yeah, they got
I'm
better
like-
at quarterback
Because
position.
I'm like,
but
you're
he's-
going from Mariota, Sam Howell, and Desmond Ritter.
This
to
is
Kirk
the
Cousins.
worst. This is statistically the worst season Kirk Cousins has
But
ever had.
I just want to say on the record that at the beginning of the season, I did not have faith in Kirk Cousins, and he is proving me right again.
It's
I
hard
get
to
what you're
argue.
saying.
I'm just there's like this.
It's a double-edged sword when it comes to
It
Kirk
is.
Cousins right now. You know what I'm saying?
Because he should be playing better. He's an NFL
Correct.
quarterback. Yes.
Kirk is doing Kirk things right now.
You're asking him to cut a steak with a butter knife, and he's basically doing it the best.
Not
he
even
can.
a butter knife. It's a plastic knife. It's one of
It's
the
a plastic knife, and,
It came with a
and he's
sport.
doing it the best he can. And you want to yell at him for not doing it better, and I get that. I do. You paid him $254 million. You expect him to be able to do shit with anything, but
And it's not like he doesn't have weapons. It's not like he doesn't have weapons.
No,
either.
he's got two top 20 receivers in Darnell Mooney and freaking Drake London.
And then one of those
Both have about 8
underperformance.
Kyle
but
Pitts.
You got
Yeah.
Cobb and you got Bijan Robinson. So it's
Bijan
not like
Robinson.
he has hands, he has runners. And even his RB2, what's his name? He's number 25. I can't remember his name. But I'm saying Kirk Cousins has weapons. At the end of the day, he has weapons. The play calling, yes, that could be a gigantic detriment to him being able to succeed, especially if
Tyler
you look at the
Algier.
stats prior to Atlanta
Yeah.
and how he was succeeding in Minnesota.
And in Washington.
You would, like you said, Charles, you want to play to Kirk Cousins'
You
strength.
just expect that from your head coach. To be honest, I mean,
And I'm not saying that you have to change your whole offensive playbook. You still want to have your identity as the OC on the field.
right.
But you
But I'm
still want
telling
to
you,
have
it's-
those little sprinkles of, hey, Kirk, you ready for this one? This is on
I
you.
mean, I expected 16 to 23%. I expect 16 to 23% when you have a quarterback
But
who
to go down to
excels
8%,
at play action. You basically giving him half of the ability to do what he can do.
and
really,
then this
really
is the thing. When he did those play actions, you had the running back of Dalvin Cook, and you saw how amazing that was in Minnesota with him, Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, and so it works. So you have pretty much the same recipe in Atlanta all over again.
So I wouldn't know the exact number, but basically what you're looking at here is giving the ball to Bijan Robinson 8% more
Right.
and throwing the ball out of shotgun 7% less. That's it. That's how you because now you that 7%
evening it
shotgun. That 7% shotgun is now the added play action that gets you to 15, 16% and puts you just above middle of the pack in a league with a quarterback who excels at play action.
And I'm not
don't
saying
fucking
that
know.
Drake London or Mooney are anything compared to Justin Jefferson or Madison. I'm not saying that. However, you have pretty much the same recipe in Atlanta that he had.
Here's the thing.
It's
A
copy and
great wide
paste.
receiver gets you 1,000 yards, right?
And Drake London can get you that.
It doesn't matter how
Easy.
I get you. It doesn't matter how I get you the 1,000. I just Mike Evans
So,
does it
so
differently
last,
from
I'm gonna
Justice.
I'm gonna drop
Jefferson.
some knowledge bombs on
Yeah.
you. Last year, at this exact point in time in the season, they were 6-8.
Yeah.
They are 7-7 right now. So, like Charles says, they are the same fucking football team they were last year.
Nothing's
They aren't
changed, it
any
feels
better.
like.
Nothing has really changed. No.
Or at least on paper, it doesn't seem like they've gotten better. Just because you got one more win than you did last year at this point doesn't mean you're a better football team.
So they had the Colts, Bears, and Saints last year, and they pissed away 2 out of the 3. They lost to the Bears and Saints, and they beat the Colts. So
the positive that Atlanta does have, right, is they're 4-1 in their division, and they swept Tampa Bay. Crazy.
So if they become a tie,
All they
get
got
the
to do is
tiebreaker.
win. All
They
they
got to
got to
win
do
out.
is
Win out.
All they got to do is
And Tampa Bay has to lose 2 out of the next 3.
They got two teams that are trying to lose right now in Carolina and freaking the Giants. So they're going to win those 2 games more than likely.
Hopefully.
And I don't want to put too much
They almost
smoke.
lost to Vegas. So
I don't want to put too much smoke on Morris in the OC, right? Because it is a fire, which means in order for there to be a fire, there needs to be a lot added to it. Like you don't get a fire with one thing. You need.
Do you see somebody like Morris getting fired after the season's over if they don't make the playoffs?
Yeah, dude.
Can you see it happening?
What you gave Kirk Cousins $254 million for 4 years,
but do you think he would cut him and get rid of at least the coaching staff?
Oh yeah,
if they don't make the playoffs after 1 year.
Yes, you ain't, bro.
Listen, I wouldn't know because I haven't made the playoffs in a long time.
Carolina, it's about the divisional picture. Carolina is getting better. Tampa Bay is getting better. Baker Mayfield is a really good quarterback.
The fact that Carolina was actually able to win 3 games this year. This is just the math for Carolina right now. We all said that they weren't going to win shit this year.
Didn't even think it was possible.
Not even possible. Somehow, Bryce gets benched. They win a game. Bryce comes in because Dalton gets in a car accident, and Bryce Young never looks back and looks completely different than he did the first few games of the season and all of last season.
I'm so blessed to just
and
be in this situation.
Regardless of those 2 wins that he got.
You mean God put Wentz and his whole family into a car accident?
Listen, those 2 wins, regardless of who they were playing, switched something on in Bryce Young's brain. And the fact that he's been able to either bring his team back to even getting a victory, granted these losses have been just fucking wild for them. I can speak from experience. But nobody expected Carolina to fight the way that they have been this second half of the season. We all agreed, especially on the chat when we talk off camera, that Carolina, it could possibly be a few draft picks, a few signings away from being a playoff team. And for Atlanta to see Carolina come from one of the worst teams to being talked about as like one of the few potential teams in the next couple of years to be a playoff team, and you just signed a $200 million plus quarterback that can't get you but 7 wins so far.
Dookie.
What the fuck?
Yeah, this screams coaching staff more than it does players.
I'm like, we're gonna have to see how this cooks. We got 3 games left, 3 weeks left. If they don't make the playoffs, you're saying that there's a possibility that you wouldn't be surprised if they fire Raheem Morris at the end of the season.
All right, Charles, you wanted to jump into the football games here next week?
Yeah. I don't want to talk about my guys.
We don't have to talk about them at all. It's just done and over with. They're playing the Lions, Paul. I think we already know what the writing on the wall is for that one.
A loss.
The funny thing is, it's only a 6-point spread.
I'm like, could we pull out a win at this point? Anything is.
Detroit is beat. This is as beat and banged up as they've been in all season. Yeah.
I'm like, but this is the crazy thing. Even though they lost last week to Buffalo, offensively they still were hitting.
Well, Buffalo's defense is.
I don't mean to interrupt you guys.
But I think Josh Allen definitely secured his MVP this Sunday.
Well, I gotta hit the nail on the coffin here real quick.
Go ahead.
I do. I just gotta nail this in one more time. We expressed how impressive Bijan Robinson is. We expressed the play action king scenario. The Atlanta Falcons run the ball 43% of the time. That's good for 14th in the league. And they run play action 8%. That's like 28th or 29th in the league.
It's got to be way down there.
I just don't understand why.
Because
none of that makes sense to me.
None of it.
Sorry.
Charles, we could have a one-on-one.
We can run down the stats all day long and it won't make any sense.
Hey, yo,
this is a rabbit hole you don't want to go down, Charles.
We don't really care about Atlanta. Obviously, we made the point.
Okay, so Josh Allen, MVP, that's cool. But I've got a name that should be talked about.
I'm hearing it.
Lamar Jackson.
I'm like, this year definitely is better than last year by
he's having the best season ever.
Statistically, yes.
Of his career. And it
helps that he has Derrick Henry back there.
Yeah, that's great.
But he is passing a lot better than he has in the last few years.
He's got like 35 touchdowns and 4 interceptions or something like that. He's got almost 4,000 yards already.
But they got 5 losses, so that's why he's not going to get MVP.
Right, and that's just it may.
And arguably 2 of those losses are on him, so you can't.
It's
really frustrating.
If he had a couple wide receivers catch the ball, those aren't losses.
Likely wasn't past that case by that much. He would have beat Kansas City week 1.
Likely could have been 2 inches forward of position, but
tomatoes.
I can. If somebody was like Lamar Jackson, I could be on the conversation for Josh Allen very easily. I don't think Lamar Jackson is being talked about enough. And one of our biggest faults with Lamar Jackson has been, oh yeah, cool, he's a running back. This year, he's the best passer in the NFL right now. And everyone's,
I wouldn't be upset if he won it again.
Cooper threw it back, and then Josh Allen dove in for a touchdown, so that definitely makes him an MVP.
But again,
because it was in the snow.
Do you think who's more valuable to their team right now in the season? Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson?
Lamar Jackson.
Josh Allen. What?
That team, the Buffalo Bills would crumble without
there's
Josh
no way
Allen.
Buffalo wouldn't win a football game this year if they didn't have Josh Allen. Their defense is not good. It's middle of the road.
You're telling me you put Mitch Trubisky where Josh Allen is right now, Buffalo will still be winning?
No, not at all.
Listen,
I mean, Derrick Henry could just run that. They could get them to 7 wins with just Derrick Henry.
Why didn't Tennessee couldn't do that with Derrick Henry? It's not like Derrick Henry.
But Harbaugh is definitely a better coach than
Derrick Henry brought Tennessee to the playoffs, and they had nothing. They had Brian Tannehill, for fuck's sake, back there. Come on now.
Dude, that's literally Jared Goff.
No, he's not. Jared Goff is way better than Ryan Tannehill.
Those stats please don't open this can of worms. Please don't open this can of worms. Please don't open this.
Just this season. You
can't tell the last 4 fucking seasons, Jared Goff has been the best quarterback statistically in the NFL.
So that means he's finally caught up to Ryan Tannehill.
No, Ryan Tannehill. No, he's way surpassed him.
Because of this.
If he is just as good as Tannehill, why does Tannehill not have a job?
Listen, I understand that. At the beginning of this season, him and Ryan Tannehill were the same stats.
If they are the same, why does he not have a job?
I don't know.
Because he is whack.
I don't do that.
If we want to really break it down,
Green Bay, if he's so good, then
we can break it down. I mean, arguably the best quarterback. Hasn't even been Lamar Jackson. It's been Joe Burrow.
This is very true. This is a valid. Joe Burrow's technically.
Joe Burrow's only got 8 interceptions, and arguably one of those games, I think he had 4. So he's thrown the same amount of interceptions.
Joe Burrow's is having the best quarterback years
than Jackson too. And the defense is terrible. The offensive line is the worst in the NFL.
Running back game is mid sometimes.
Chase Brown is pretty good.
I'm just saying it's not always hitting. Like you can clearly see. I'm not saying that Joe Mixon is having a better year, but you can tell you miss Joe Mixon, and clearly Burrows and Chase are on the same page because both of them
Charles is 100% correct. Like, why is Lamar Jackson? Because he won it. Is that why we're not being like, oh my god, look?
I don't think that should matter.
Doing?
I don't because
no, it shouldn't matter. But I feel like
Aaron Rodgers won it twice, and was it 2 in a row or 3 in a row? Was it 2 in a row before
if
he
you're
went
not?
to
Yeah, if you're not first, you're last. So if you're in second place or fourth place, you're still in the playoffs, correct?
So let me ask you this.
So then what's the difference between Bills and the Ravens?
So my I guess not a rebuttal, but to add sugar to your argument, to make it sweeter, to prove your point. Russell Westbrook, he won his MVP as the 8th seed in the NBA, mainly because of what? The triple-double.
Yeah,
okay, so
what did that triple-double do?
They can still make the playoffs. All right. They can beat out
the
Colts.
I think Lamar wouldn't be the worst pick as the MVP. I wouldn't be against it.
I would put money on him right now.
For me, though, I think Josh Allen is the lock for MVP.
Why?
If he keeps
they got 2 games. They have a 2-game lead. They've got their division clinched. I don't think they cannot catch Kansas City unless Kansas City loses 2 games. So I mean, like Charles said, like Kansas, like
if Patrick Mahomes gets the MVP, I'm
for.
flipping this whole shit upside down.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes isn't getting the MVP.
No, Mahomes is not having a good season.
He's not even on Vegas's radar right now.
No, I think he's 10th or something.
But I'm right there with you, bro. I'm right there with you. Listen, I'm right there with you. If he wins, I'm done.
I'm fucking done. This whole shit is rigged.
Yeah,
Fuck this shit.
You can have all this shit back.
I fucking quit. But I don't. It's if you're not first, you're last.
I get it.
If you're not in first place, second and fourth, second and sixth, that doesn't matter.
Do you think him having the Ravens second in their division, can he technically, in your eyes, pull off?
We're talking
MVP?
About, for me personally, you're talking about most valuable player, not most valuable team. I get you.
Like, I agree.
For me, I never understood where this, like, the MVP has to come from, like, the best team in the league. I thought
that was the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Because it's not a team award, it's an individual award, which should put Joe fucking Burrow and Lamar Jackson in these conversations. But it is what it is.
I've always wondered that concept too.
Because if you're asking
is it an individual award because it's most valuable player to the team?
But that's not what the trophy says. The trophy says most valuable player.
Yeah, but let's be honest.
I hear what you're saying.
Most valuable player to the team.
I'm not arguing. I'm not
because
arguing.
it's a team sport.
So then let me ask you this.
If we were talking about
these are individual awards,
tennis, then you could say MVP.
Let me ask you this.
I agree with you.
Let's say Josh Allen. Let's say Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson wins.
Oh, I agree with you.
One of them wins the MVP, right?
Yeah.
Would it be fucking insane? Because clearly, if they one of them two win the MVP, I personally think Saquon Barkley wins Offensive Player of the Year. Like, it's a fucking no-brainer.
Yeah.
However, this is the NFL. This is fucking stupid sometimes. Would you give it to Joe Burrows as being the Offensive Player of the Year for having the year that he had? Can Joe Burrows pull off some weird fucking miracle and get Offensive Player of the Year?
Joe Burrow, the only way Joe Burrow can actually win this is if he throws for another 12 to 14 touchdowns in the next 3 games and maybe 1 interception, and they win all 3 games and they go to the playoffs as like the 5 seed. But there's just so much stuff's got to happen.
There's too much in front of Joe. For example, there's Goff.
Yeah. You're not going to bypass that.
Statistically, since the 5 interception game and the Texans game there for the Lions, Jared Goff has been done. He quietly had 494 yards and 5 touchdowns last week or this week, right? 494 yards and 5, and they lost. Yeah, we can say that again too. They lost by 6. Dan Campbell went by 12. It's funny, whatever.
But he still played lights out.
Yeah, but anywho, statistically, if you're looking for a rebound MVP candidate, if you're gonna bring Joe in, I think Jared bounces further.
Yeah,
no quarterback has ever won the MVP and thrown 5 interceptions in a game in a season before. So,
do you want to know a wild stat for Paul, just to make you feel better?
I doubt it.
Yeah, you were the over/under with. I'm telling you this right now. It's gonna ruin you because you're gonna be thinking about it the rest of the year. You actually hit Caleb Williams' over/under.
As far as
he has 17 touchdowns and 5 interceptions.
Oh, I did that.
I can't believe he's only at 5. Caleb Williams has done a very good job of taking care of the football. It's the
Yeah,
offensive line that's absolutely dog shit.
I mean, it's yes and no.
And
Yes
he's
and no.
taking way too many sacks, though.
That's what I
Yes,
mean. It's the offensive
yeah.
line, and it's and
Well,
let's be honest, he's overthrown a lot of guys too. You can't catch the ball if
yeah,
it's over your fucking head.
he
So
takes
And it
he
takes
gets sacked 8 or
forever.
9. I think he hold on. Let's find out for sure.
let's see sacks. Yeah, defense.
He was at like 59 sacks or
Oh my God, he was really close. Paul's, can he break the record? And I was like, I think it's like 75, but yeah,
But
he might.
he could definitely break it. Because what, the record's like 75, 78?
Something like that in the season. I think it.
So Caleb Williams gets sacked 4.31 times per game. This is the
That's
highest in
crazy.
the NFL for a rookie quarterback and has contributed to a challenging season for him. But okay, so he averages 4.5 sacks a game.
Right.
Let's say 5 sacks a game. Let's say 5 sacks a game.
So that's 50, if he gets, that's 15 sacks on top of what he has now.
2 of those sacks are on him. The offensive line gives up 3 a game.
Oh, they're coverage sacks.
With
and he
him
doesn't
running
get rid of the
around
ball,
for his,
yeah.
him running around trying to keep the play alive instead of
2 of
getting
those-
rid of the ball.
If you take 2 of those sacks away, I mean, we're talking 50% of his sacks a game are due to him. So but again, the fire that is the Bears. Here's the thing, okay? So you kept a guy that you fired in the season, and you didn't let you didn't let your quarterback start with the coach. I get that. So you already effed that up. That's cool. But then you decide to take the only fucking guy in the building who was actually talking to him and getting through to him and building a nice rapport with him. And you took him away from him and went, here, now you have to go and fucking do the whole show. So now Caleb over the last couple of weeks is regressing again. This is a Chicago fucking Bears thing. I'm done talking. I'm just going to let this fizzle out and we'll move on because I feel bad for Paul. I feel bad for Bears fans as a Packer fan. I found myself rooting for y'all last night.
I think the biggest, like I put in the chat, the fact that he's running around, holding on to this ball, trying to keep the play alive. I get you, maybe like a few seconds after you're out of the pocket, you're trying to see if one of the receivers can find a way to get open. But after you running around for 10, 15 yards and you can't get the ball to anybody, throw it away. Run. And that's the other thing. Why is it that every time he's running and he sees that there's 7 or 8 yards in front of him, he wants to stop right before he gets to scrimmage to try to throw the ball? Sir, it's first down. Go get them 6 yards so second down can be a lot easier.
Paul, did you not watch him in college? He likes to run up to the line of scrimmage and throw.
But it's the most irritating thing to watch. Like, it's 1st and 10. If you can get half of that, if not more, to make 2nd and 3rd down more manageable, why would you not do that?
Because he's probably been told not to run the football to risk injury.
Like, you're already running around 10, 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And you have a run.
I thought the biggest story with this kid coming into the season was going to be his dad.
No, it's him. It's fucking him.
He's him. He's him.
And this is the thing. He has moments of, oh, shit. This guy got something. But then it's like, fuck.
So the Chargers,
stupid shit.
So the Chargers giving up 40 to the Bucks. Like, is this the new Chargers to end the season? Because
that's what I asked about the Bucks, though. The way that
because Harbaugh's like,
are the Bucks a Super Bowl team?
This is one of the things we're gonna
Tampa Bay's got a pretty good defense. I didn't realize this.
But their offense is clicking right now.
Their offense got healthy. They got Evans back. Baker knows who to get the ball to. He's having a fantastic season again.
Evans is a cheat.
We get to watch them this Sunday night.
I tell you what,
the Cowboys.
It's a team I wouldn't want to play in the playoffs.
Like
Detroit, we know one team that doesn't want to see him in the fucking playoffs, and that's the Detroit Lions.
The 2 teams that have beat Detroit, one, the Bills, are a Super Bowl team that could possibly get to the Super Bowl, and Tampa Bay being the only other loss that Detroit's gotten. Seeing how they've been playing since they've gotten Mike Evans back and their team has gotten healthy, like Atlanta has no shot at getting this division. I feel like I think they're cooked.
They own the tiebreaker. Charles said
I hear you,
they own the tiebreaker over Tampa. That's
all Atlanta has to do is win.
Yep.
I hear you, but they barely beat Oakland, Vegas.
But Paul, they've got the Giants in Carolina.
I hear
Two teams
you.
that don't want to fucking win anyway. The
I
teams don't
hear
even want to
you.
win.
That sounds good out loud. At the end of the day, the way that Tampa Bay is winning right now, they're not just winning; they are putting belt to ass. And the Chargers are not just they're a good defensive team, and you just let Tampa Bay drop 42 on you.
So they get a Monday night game with the Cowboys. Technically, are still mathematically
Which makes no
somehow
fucking
in the
sense.
still fucking in the playoff hunt. I don't even
Is
understand how it's
Washington-
possible.
So is
Washington.
Carolina. So
Yeah.
Washington can't win for some god awful reason.
Yeah, Washington. Yeah, Washington plays the Eagles, so that probably keeps them alive for another week unless they can't beat the Bucks. So I think if they lose and Washington loses, they're out because Washington has a 2-game lead.
So the Rams have the Jets, and the Vikings have the Seahawks.
So which old
and
man quarterback's going to win?
Lions have the Bears.
I wouldn't call Stafford old man quarterback. I think Stafford's still got quite a few more years left in him.
That boy got gray hair in his beard. He's got sprinkles.
They're calling me old.
We are old. Whether you we are all old on this.
Not old. We is just
He's old for football. He's old for football.
Fine-tuned talking machines.
He's on the
I'm
other
a
side.
well-oiled machine.
Yeah, and I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure you still got basketball shorts underneath your pants.
Not yet. He retired those, remember? He
No,
said
I
he'll whip them
retired
back
them.
out.
Long time ago, I retired those.
He did retire the Bergies, though, for now.
Yeah. I don't have all the light in my eye.
That's good, though. That's good.
I will soon.
Do you want to jump in real quick before we go back to the NFL and do picks? Do you want to jump into this college deal that we've been talking about? We got to
Which
jump
one?
on. We can talk
A lot
about a
of 'em.
couple of things. We can talk about the NIL. We can talk about how there's a player in football right now he's in his 8th season. And
Wait. We got breaking news. Michael Penix is starting Sunday against the Giants.
You've got to be shitting me.
I'm so fucking serious.
I cannot wait for this. This is fantastic. Why would you throw
Yeah,
your
Morris
season away like
lost his
that?
job.
Morris is
Morris just
gone.
lost his job.
He's lost the locker room.
You think
He's lost the locker room. There's no fucking way.
Charles,
You're
I'm asking-
benching your $200 million quarterback for a rookie.
Paul,
For
I'm
a
asking
rookie.
both of you, and I want a God's honest answer. On a scale of 1 to Diddy, what confidence level do you have that Penix is going to be better than freaking
I
Kirky
don't know.
boy?
I honestly can't give you that.
Last week he was on the scout team.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't.
Now
make
he's
any
on
sense to me.
the starter.
So is Kirky hurt?
There's no way.
Kirky hurt wingy?
He's probably hurt ego-wise.
Yeah, I would be too at $250 million. His wife would be dressing him for the game, so it's fine.
I don't know.
But is this the time of the season to bench him, though, when you
No,
have
they're in a playoff push.
implications? But you're putting your faith in the next 3 games in Michael Penix.
You got well. This is how this is going to work out.
All right,
Penix will play the first half. Probably have a pick or two, and Kirk Cousins will come in the second half. Atlanta will lose that game.
This is the perfect game for them to
Atlanta's
play,
going to
though.
lose them the next game just because of terrible coaching. Terrible coaching.
So
and
Charles,
then the coach gets fired at the end of the season. This is a joke.
the line is 8.5 for Atlanta right now at home versus the Giants. Now, do you think that line gets taken off the board or it swings 360 180?
I bet it drops to 5. I bet it drops to 5.
It's gotta. Vegas hasn't pulled it off yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if you can't get money line right now.
This is insane.
We were just talking about this for 25 minutes fucking straight, how terrible this would be. And Charles talks about him being on the practice squad. And guess what? Guess who's elevated off the practice squad?
That's insane.
Big Penix energy.
The most shocking draft.
Well, I guess we're going to get to see a left-handed quarterback.
Is taking over a $250 million quarterback that you just signed this offseason. And I'm pretty sure his ego is shot to shit.
I wouldn't be surprised. I can totally see this being a fire.
At least Kirk's
You're still getting paid, though. You're still getting paid.
At least Kirk's wife's back in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she's back
that
home.
check's still going to clear on Sunday, though.
God, yeah.
Check still clears.
I'd like to get paid $254 million to ride the bench.
This year has been filled with a whole lot of stuff that wasn't on my bingo card.
How many people are going to be picking him up in fantasy football?
Probably half the league.
And
Anybody
needs a
that's
playoff push.
if the playoffs, because most leagues should have already started their playoffs last week.
I already picked him up.
I
But
picked him up. All right, just to put him on my
I'm
bench.
not making it past this round, so I'm not really.
No,
I'm done.
I've got active players on the IR. I can't pick anybody else up. My bench is full. My team is full. My shit's full. There's nothing I can do.
Patrick has put belt to ass on me, and I'm not. He
My team was built for the playoffs.
listen. Just like Charles had a bye week, you have a bye week now. This
It's a bye week.
You're not playing anybody this week. You just got to figure out who you're playing against, Charles, or who you playing, Charles?
It's Bradley. And
Bradley.
It's tough.
And those two right there is like this.
This happened to Charles last year. He had a but it was in the championship game against Joey. It was a nail biter.
Well, the first week I went up 78 points on Joey.
The fact that there's only 2 points between y'all two right now.
That's good though. That's what you
y'all
want to see.
have the game of the week. Me and Pat we're just waiting to see which one of y'all beat each other. I'm playing for third place.
I've got a big decision to make because Lamar Jackson plays the Steelers.
Hey, what does third place get?
I don't know, money.
I just want a gift card of like McDonald's or something.
You want a gift card? All right, I'll fucking give you a gift card. I'm just gonna Venmo you the money. Or
that's fine. You can do that. You can do that too.
I want a gift card.
Listen,
autographed card.
It would be fucking hilarious.
I actually
if Carl's talked all this shit this year, all the science, and you lose by 0.3 points.
Oh yeah, I do. I gotta send this. I have to send this out to Mike. I freaking just found this the other day. I was gonna send it to him. I was like, the fuck, dude.
If Charles happens to lose this week, he's definitely getting third place. Because the way that he whooped my ass at the beginning of the season, there's no way that I'm making it out of Jesus Cave unscathed. I'm getting bruised up by Patrick and Charles. 4 weeks straight, I'm getting my ass whooped.
You made it to the playoffs, all right? Listen.
Next year is going to be interesting.
On a good note, in my championship league, not only did I make it to the playoffs on the last week of the season, just like this one, I had to play the same guy twice.
That's back-to-back weeks.
Back-to-back, because he was...
So you had to back way into the playoffs, and then I had to play in the first week of the playoffs?
The guy that I beat, he was in third place at the time, and so we basically swapped seedings, and so I had to play him again in the first week of the playoffs, and he had some fond words for me both weeks, because in the last week, he didn't have a kicker or a defense on his lineup. He forgot to set his lineup up. Like, sir, this is like the most crucial week. This is not the time to have a brain fart. But I made it.
I understood it at the beginning of the season. I was like messaging everyone that I was playing, "Hey, man."
I'm not that nice. Not when there's playoff implications.
Oh yeah, no. I've wanted to beat you at your best all season.
Well,
I didn't want to hear nothing from no one.
So now I made it to the semifinals. I as of right now, numbers wise, I have the best team in the playoffs right now, statistically, which scares me because that don't always mean shit.
All right.
Well, statistically outside of the record, that's I've got the best team. I scored the most points. I hit almost 2,000 points this year.
I'm confident.
Crazy, dude.
I'm confident that I might go back to back. I'm very confident.
I got 10. I got 10% of that in 1 week, Charles.
I was just pissed, bro. I had the 1 week where I scored like $180, and then like the following week I scored 96. I'm like,
well, there was 3-week period where I only scored 197 cumulative points in 3 weeks.
Yeah,
that's why I was middle of the pack scoring, because those 3 weeks I think I averaged about 57, 58 points. All right, we need to get into this. I brought this up. The NIL thing is obviously something we can talk about another day, but we got to bring this up. Charles brought it up about the guys not drinking their milk. Why the fuck are these players getting extended? The NCAA has completely ruined with the big C. Players are getting extended. I'm going to break down the top 5 players. These are all players in the last 7 seasons. All right. Number 1 is Stetson Bennett. Everybody remembers him. It was a fucking Van Wilder of college football. Back in the day when he was with Georgia, he was getting hammered. He had a drinking problem. I do believe maybe he got a DUI or something. and he plays for the Rams, and I believe he's just now made the team again. But he played 6 seasons, and then Cam Rising, obviously, everybody knows his story. The dude transferred how many times? Like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
He had 7 years in the NCAA, and then we've got Kyle Pugh from Northern Illinois. I believe he started. This dude is started in 2015, and he's still fucking playing football.
That doesn't make any sense. Like half your class has been in the league for at least 3-4 years now.
He's a linebacker from Chicago.
I don't understand. How is college allowing this to happen?
Let me read I'll read the paragraph for you. The 6 foot, 226-pound linebacker from Chicago came to NIU in 2015. Pugh redshirted in 2015, played a little in 2016, began starting in 2017, and was second team all conference in 2018. He was injured in the second game of the 2019 season, started an abbreviated 2020 campaign, then he was prepared to use his extra year before a knee injury in spring practice caused him to miss 2021. Returned in 2022 as an 8th-year senior. Oh, he finished last year in 2023. And
after
then we've
how
got
many years?
8 years. And then Jared Folks, the 10, this is another linebacker, but 8 years in the NFL. This dude went from looking like he was 17 years old to looking like somebody's grandpapa by the time he was done playing. Cam McCormick. This is the guy, the tight end to Oregon,
like 10 years?
Miami. Yeah, 9 years. He got his 9th year extension. Now the NCAA is completely done away with this, with the ruling on it. You have to have a legitimate excuse as to why you want your eligibility extended.
Yeah.
But it seems like they literally will let anybody have it.
It just doesn't make sense.
They're taking scholarships away. They're pushing scholarships back. Granted, it's only 1, 2, but I looked it up. It's gone up 28% in the last 4 years of players trying to fill this.
Yeah.
And it's all players, like Charles said, that didn't drink their milk. Why are these guys always getting hurt? It's the same player getting hurt over and over again. If you're not good enough to play, you're taking a roster spot away from a player that was recruited, healthy, ready to come in and play.
Yeah, because there are the outliers, right? Because at this point, the NFL has showed you they're not a developmental league as much as they were before.
Yeah.
Right? Even the guy we all thought was going to sit behind a $254 million quarterback, joke's on us. We just brought him here so we could, I don't even.
He's not going to
Well,
let that
the
go.
outlier is right now. You can say it's
really
Bo
wish
Nix,
that
Charles.
I could make money to do what these idiots do. But no, my point with that is there's a handful of people. There's going to be people who should stay in college as long as they can to develop a little better. But those people are going to be like top 20 draft picks. What you're talking about, what we're talking about here are people who
I'm talking about a guy who's
aren't
torn his
even gonna-
ACL 3 fucking times and he's playing 9 years. And this guy's barely limping around on the field and you're allowing him to play. At one point, it's player safety more than it is even you're trying to get this guy a college degree or allow him to play football. Let's be honest. I don't want a guy out there on bum legs. He's got robot legs. Why is he out there playing football?
I'm sure at this point it's become more of a you did it for this guy, so you're going to do it for me.
Well, in the most recent one is Alan Bowman. Remember he played at Michigan. He was a backup quarterback, and now he's in his 8th season at Oklahoma State. This is the only reason why I brought this up. I'm like, this guy's still playing football? And then they showed his draft class. It was like Joe Burrow and all these guys. Yeah, it's wild.
It just doesn't make sense. My brain hurts.
Brooke Lopez is. It's the whole system is whacked though.
You're allowing these kids to be in college for 10 years. What classes are you taking at this point?
Probably general arts.
Speaking of smart people, props to Travis Hunter for winning the Heisman, and I guess somebody leaked his test scores and his GPA, and the dude's an All-American on and off the field. And he's actually, what do you think his major is?
I don't know.
It's something that you wouldn't even think. He's going
political science.
No, he's mastering in anthropology. So the dude, he's pretty smart dude. He's going for something.
Did you hear there was a clip I heard? It was Deion Sanders' son, Deion Jr. He was doing an interview with somebody. He said that Any money that he gets sent from the collective, he sends it back and puts it back into the collective to help. He helps pay for at least 15 to 18 people for their NIL
Who's
deals and stuff.
this?
Travis.
Oh, Travis. Yeah,
He puts money back into the collective instead of taking it. Like, how do you hate this kid?
Oh, I don't hate him. I never
No,
did
I'm not
hate
saying
him.
we do.
No,
I'm
I
just
know
saying, like,
that. Yeah.
I was a Deion denier for a long time, and I told Charles last year. I said you couldn't find somebody that didn't like Deion the way that the team was, and it was ripping on him as much as me. And I've come full circle on this. I will absolutely give Deion Sanders and Colorado all the freaking praise in the world. They've completely changed that team.
yeah.
They've done a 180.
1 year faster than we thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to be able to say that you went from a 1-11, 4-8 to now 9-3 and playoff bound in just your second year in pretty much being in Colorado, it's got to be volumes with how Deion is building
they're going to make the playoff next year with
I'm
all
like,
the players he's getting in the transfer portal.
Like the transfer portal that he's about to pull off, it's ridiculous.
He just pulled that defensive lineman from Alabama.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's another player that wants to come there, and Deion Sanders is building something special in Colorado. I hope he doesn't just bail in a couple years and go for the big job. I hope he builds he's young enough, build a nice franchise there, something to build off of, kids to look back on, memories.
I think that the fact that he doesn't use his recruiting like most college schools does, because he's living off the transfer portal, and be able to build the team that he's built in the last 2 years to basically put Colorado on the map.
He literally doesn't even have to recruit. He
is not going to any kid's house.
No, he doesn't have to.
And if he does recruit, he definitely has somebody, just like the way Bill Belichick.
Somebody put this out there. They said, who will be in the college football playoff first, Bill Belichick or Deion Sanders? And I said Deion Sanders is going to make it before Bill. There's going to be.
I would be surprised if they're both in the playoffs next year.
Not next year. I think Bill's going to run into a few hiccups with the whole coaching in college is quite a bit different than high school. NFL. I think I think it's going to take him a year to get all of his coordinators, everybody on board, because he's going to bring in NFL coordinators. Sometimes that just doesn't correlate to the college game, especially with new recruits and new players. It takes a while to adjust to it. Could they be in the playoff next year? I don't. I think they're a year or two away.
I'm like, if they win the ACC, they're in.
Yeah, but they weren't even close.
And it can very well possibly happen depending on what he builds over the next year. Especially the offseason.
But Florida,
I'm not saying that they can,
good.
But out of all the conferences, though, the ACC
the Big 12
the most plausible.
The Big 12 would probably be the most.
Do you know who's representing college players?
What do you mean?
Do you know college players for the NIL have representation? Do you know who's doing that?
It should just be themselves, correct? They don't have agents.
No, they do.
They can.
They have agents. They have agents,
especially for their endorsement.
And do you know who those agents are?
NFL agents.
NFL agents. And do you know who has
NFL? How the fuck is this not a conflict of interest?
Do you know who has NFL agent phone numbers?
Bill Belichick.
And you know who's been contacting Bill Belichick?
NFL agents.
Requesting their children come play
for
Bill Belichick.
This is a lawsuit waiting to happen, though.
I don't see how.
No, there's nothing against it.
They're not breaking the rules in theory, because again,
they are, because it's a dead period. It's a no-go zone right now.
But I'm just saying, as far as the student athletes having agents, it makes sense.
Penn State's backup quarterback just left to enter the transfer portal.
Yeah, that's not what I mean. They're off of teams that have active rosters that are in the college football playoff. If they're contacting any of those players,
I'm not saying that they can contact them.
No, and North Carolina isn't contacting anyone.
The agents are contacting. Now that they know Bill Belichick is there, they're saying, "Hey, keep my number in your phone. I'm gonna be calling you soon."
Yeah, but
I got kids that want to come play.
You're just asking for bad news, like for an investigation if something wasn't going completely 180.
This is the chess game now. This is the chess game that's on the board right now, and you can't. I get the frustration because the cross.
I get it. Where's the money going to come from for North Carolina though?
The boosters.
Do you realize? Listen, do you realize that since Deion Sanders,
they put all their money in basketball though?
But hold on, dude. Listen, since Deion Sanders has been in Colorado, they've brought in something like $100 million. Like not Deion, not like no,
Boosters
just
are gonna put money into that
boosters are
alumni,
coming in. Bro. The money here's the kicker,
and then the
right?
surrounding companies.
I
and
don't know where
businesses.
those numbers come from because as far as I know, Colorado's NIL collective is not very big. I thought it was just the fact that they give the most, but they don't have the most.
Listen, I don't know where you
Can't
got
give
that
what you
from.
don't have.
And they haven't, like a lot of it.
If you're given the most, you have the most. That's
basic math.
Yeah.
And with UNC getting Belichick, I promise you, people are going to put money in that pot.
They got Michael Lombardi as their GM, bro.
And then you have Michael Jordan as one of your biggest sponsorships.
So now here's how North Carolina's already winning, bro. We're talking about North Carolina football right now.
You are. I hear a lot of negative things about players not wanting to go there play for an old grandpa.
That's going to change quick. I promise you.
I'll go look some
We
of that
will
up
see. We will see.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason why nobody wanted him to coach in the NFL. There's got to be a reason. You get that guy in a freaking room and he didn't get a job. Something's not right with this.
Maybe
especially with him dating a 20-some-year-old woman. I mean, it's just weird. It's weird.
$10 million a year for 5 years.
I'm just saying there's some weird things. There's some weird things that you're not dating. He's dating a 20-some-year-old. Is he going through a midlife crisis? Like, is something not right up here? I just don't know what the hell is going on with the guy.
I hear what you're saying now. When
It's
you
nothing
turn
against him.
70, if I catch you with a 22-year-old going, like, hey, fucker, didn't you just say 50 years ago? It's weird.
You're not gonna catch me going after some 50-year-old 20.
Hey, Pat, what happened?
I'm letting you go, man.
You're not gonna catch me.
I'm not catching you doing nothing.
No.
I'm just saying.
I just have
40 years from now,
somebody's mental state when they're dating a 20-some-year-old woman and they're trying to revitalize their coaching career at 70-some years old. It's just a lot of it just doesn't make any sense.
Bored.
I know. No, come on. Let's be honest. They're using his name and the fact that he's had.
They are.
I know that. I'm just saying
and they're going to pay me for that.
I already told you how I feel, but I think North Carolina will be in the playoffs next year. I don't even think that's a question. You can transfer in like from now until March. It's the ACC. Who do you got to beat? Clemson. Oh
FSU.
Clemson needed a 57-yard field goal to beat SMU, bro. Like,
I'm pulling it up right now. I'll pull up their schedule for next year.
What were the 3 top teams in the ACC this year? Clemson, SMU, and Miami.
Miami, yeah. And
who else is over there that's doing anything?
Clemson and SMU are the ones in the fucking champion or in the playoffs right now.
I think UNC has a shot for the title for ACC.
Definitely. Now, because you got to think about this too, right?
Like Clemson's what, 9-3?
Who's a better coach, Bill Belichick or Deion Sanders?
Deion Sanders. College football coach, I'm going to say it's Deion. We haven't seen Bill coach. We haven't seen Bill coach a freaking college football team. It's completely different. You can't compare college and NFL. There's never been an NFL outside of Harbaugh.
Not just with Colorado, at Jackson State, Deion Sanders was still that man.
We just lived it. We just lived it with Harbaugh.
Yeah, we lived it with Harbaugh, Charles, but there's never been a coach that's literally gone and did what Harbaugh was the first.
No, there was an old Browns coach, 1942 or 47.
Charles, don't fucking bring up 80 years.
He won a fucking national championship with
Ohio State.
Yeah, when they were wearing leather fucking helmets, Charles. Come on, let's not talk about that.
I'm telling you, you won 8 total fucking championships.
He's over here talking about World War II and shit.
7 Super Bowls.
Has anybody done it in the last 25 years?
Yeah, actually, I think one of them.
Bill Belichick is chasing ghosts. He's going to be the next to do it.
I hope you're right. I don't want him to win a natty, but I hope you're right.
How many Super Bowls has Bill won? 6, 7?
6, I believe, because Brady's got 7.
6.
Okay, so Bill's won 6 Super Bowls.
Listen, I am with you, Charles. I am with you that next year Bill Belichick is going to be in the playoffs due to the ACC championship. I will give you that. However,
yeah,
he's not winning a natty next year.
How not? No, not next year. No.
But I'm with
No.
you him being in the playoffs next
That's the
year.
playoffs next year. No, I'm saying
Both Deion and Bill will be in the playoffs next year.
if Deion came to college, Deion basically started at first. Bill Belichick's rounding second base with what he has at UNC. With today's transfer portal and the collective and the money and the boosters, and I'm telling you right now, if UNC is going to be in the championship conversation 3 years max, I'd be damn shocked if it wasn't year 2.
That's such a small school. The stadium is only like 50,000. Like it's such a small football. It's like they would have to like I get it though. Colorado is not much bigger, but it's just it's not going to be a loud atmosphere. It's not going to be a cool place to go play a game. It's what are you going to sell the kids on other than NIL money?
Listen, for me, not only with the
No,
NFL
I
deal,
get what I 1000% understand what you're saying. I just don't. The atmosphere. I would have thought maybe like a Clemson, a bigger name school would have sold me more than what North Carolina is selling me.
This is the thing.
I'm not saying you're wrong at all. I believe that they're going to be in contention.
These would be my few reasons for playing.
I'm saying it's going to take 2 years for the playoff. I didn't say they're not making it. I just said 2 years.
Oh, I know you didn't.
These are going to be the reasons why I would play for Bill Belichick if I was a young cat.
All right, I don't want to hear it because I love this conversation.
I'm like, I get unlimited Jordans because I'm like, that's a perk. I don't care what you want to call it. That's a perk.
Jordans, yeah.
For young kids, especially, not trying to be racial about it, but young kids of color that want Jordan, because Jordans is one of the most popular shoes. Period.
Yeah, but
not only do you get to wear them off the field, but you're wearing
free shoes.
But I'm just saying, you're gonna get them sponsored to you because you play at UNC, so you get to wear them off the field, and you get to wear Jordans on the field. So there's that. Then 2, Charles tapped on this last week. I get to play with a Super Bowl winning coach, not just once, not twice, not 3 times, 6 times, and he's been there 9 times.
You guys, 6 times.
He's been there 9 times, and once technically he has 8.
Can I?
He has 8 Super Bowls.
I want to hear this from both of you, though.
Hold on, he has 8 Super Bowls. He has 6 as a head coach and 2 as a defensive coordinator with the Giants.
Sure, but okay.
Hey, listen, rings is rings.
Yeah. Is it more impressive though? Is what he bagged off the field than what he bagged on the field?
Why can't 2 things be true at the same time?
I'm just saying. I think are they going to have more respect that he's dating a 24-year-old that they're going to want to come play there because like
I think the moms might be like, "What the fuck is he doing?"
Well, no, I don't think once their kids paying for their mortgage, I don't think they're going to.
But the kids, I don't think they're going to look too deep into that. They're probably not going to bring their girlfriends around him.
Don't bring him around Bill.
But
Bill's
for
got
me as a player, I'm seeing I got a shot at the NFL. I just need to listen to this fucker.
And you listen, most of them kids would probably let Bill fuck their girlfriend.
And this is the thing, even with the last few years,
don't even have girlfriends.
And this is the thing, even though the last few years in New England were terrible, those don't outshadow what he's done. Period. He has 6 Super Bowl rings.
Listen, there's no negative in this scenario. This is the 1000% positive that they couldn't have did any wrong by doing this hire. There's no aspect about this that they're like, man, we shouldn't have did that. All they can think of is they're just looking at the players and looking around and they're watching the sports clickers and they're going, look at this guy wants to talk to us. This guy wants to talk to us. The phone's ringing off the hook, like Charles said. Agents want to talk to him. It's 100% positive. And it's good for football. Let's be honest. It's good for college football.
The other kicker too, right, is hearing Michael Lombardi talk. Bill Belichick thinks without a doubt that he's going to win a national championship at North Carolina.
It's possible.
But he's got that. If he has that mentality, he's the kind of coach that.
I'm like, he's already a championship winning coach, so he has that mentality built in his brain.
Championship building GM too. Lombardi, I think, has at least 2 Super Bowls as a GM.
Yeah.
You pair Lombardi with Belichick, that's a recipe for success. And I wouldn't be surprised within the next 3 to 4 years, if they haven't played for one, they're definitely winning a national championship in North Carolina.
Here's the thing. If NBA experience can make BYU a hotspot for top talent NBA prospects, and we're just talking about assistant coaches who have connections with Kevin Durant. We're not talking about championship winning pedigree here.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick can absolutely turn
You guys
UNC
ready?
into
You ready for
something
their schedule?
in 1 year. Yeah.
All right. TCU,
Okay.
Charlotte, Richmond, Central Florida, Clemson, Duke, Stanford, Virginia, Cal, NC State, Syracuse, Wake Forest.
They're making the playoffs.
But you want to know the messed up thing? The 3 years in a row they've dodged like every other big team in the conference. So this is one of the reasons why they don't play their schedules weak.
The committee showed this year that they want to see.
That's a
They
one-loss
want to
team
see
right there with this year.
depending
Playoff
on how. Yeah, depending on how that loss would be to Clemson, who knows?
Right.
It
Yeah.
could,
And if
it's the same way
Clemson
with
and if
SMU.
Clemson loses 2 games, yeah.
But still, you're not wrong.
The
The committee showed us. The committee showed us this year.
Yeah.
That it doesn't matter who you play, because if you lose,
No, it
that
doesn't. It's
matters
just
more.
it's all about resume, 100%.
Yeah, if you lose, that matters more. So you're not gonna. Even Michigan figured that out. Look at our schedule next year, bro. I think like literally I think we've got 2 crazy games.
I think Ohio
2.
State's like literally the only game they're not going to be favored to win. Especially with the best quarterback in the country coming in.
And we got Ohio State week 1.
I love it.
Yeah.
I hope Ohio State gets pounded into the fucking ground by Texas.
How fucked up would it be? You get your ass beat at the beginning of the season, then get your ass beat at the end of the season.
Can I show you guys something that I've been working on for a t-shirt while we're here?
Yeah.
All right,
By the way, since we're here, there's a solid chance that Mike Vrabel passes on the Bears and heads to Ohio State. Just so we're all on the same page.
Well, they already said they're not firing Ryan Day, though.
Yep.
You ready for it?
Yeah.
Show me. Hey, that's a fucking badass shirt.
I want to put that on. I want to put that on a shirt.
Just make sure that you don't get caught with the new law passing.
I like this one too.
It's such a sissy state.
Who's your daddy, Bucknuts?
That's such a sissy state.
It is that new law that's not really that isn't gonna pass. By the way, it can't. It's
your ass cheeks hurt that much that you got to make this is the same reason when people said the
people are gonna want to
the whole horns down thing. I don't find this to be anything. I was like, listen, that's talking shit. Do it. It's
if
sports.
You don't want it to happen, beat us.
It's plain and simple. It's not rocket science.
So in the Vikings-Seahawks game,
correct.
Do you think Seattle shows out or Minnesota fans fill the stands?
You talking about, is it in Seattle?
Yeah.
What was up with that anyway? I do get that Green Bay travels well, and they have a lot of fans out in Seattle.
Buffalo did too. I think Seattle's fans are hurt. They were hurt about with the Pete Carroll situation, but I believe they're warming up to McDonald.
I was like, McDonald's such a great interview too. Like he literally says, yes, we're going to make adjustments. We're going to do halftime stuff. He goes, yeah, we didn't execute. We didn't do well. We got to do this. We got to do that. We're going to get back out there. We're going to take care of it. We're going to handle business. I like that. I like that the coach actually says what he wants to do, and he's not just out there old Eberflux. Like he said, didn't do it.
I'm confident that we ran the play that we were supposed to. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And that's why you're at home.
That whole still getting paid. That whole team's fucked up.
Let's be honest. We need to talk about that one. All right. So Charles, you believe that
the quarterback was laying on the bench whimpering?
I'm like, I would be too if I'm getting smacked around like a rag doll.
Charles,
no.
You know what's a good teller whether or not
as the leader of the team. You want to know? Hold on a second. When you were running, why didn't you stop? Because the leadership didn't stop, correct? Your leadership didn't look like a little bitch. Am I wrong?
Correct.
This is all I'm asking for. This is all I'm asking for. And I'm not even a fan, right? I'm literally the anti-fan.
Yeah.
I am the Bears anti-fan.
So I will tell you how I know. I'll tell you how I know. This is how I know. If tickets are higher priced behind the opposing team's bench, that usually means that the tickets are in demand and that there's more of the other team's fans. So I'm going to do this for you right now. I've got Vivid Seats up right now. So
Ooh, yeah.
Seattle Seahawks behind the sidelines. You've got 130 row 139, which is end zone, 299, 1304, 322. So you got $300 to $400 behind the Seahawks front row, right behind the bench. And for the Minnesota, you've got 316, 402, 566, 657, 401, 356,
God
308,
dang.
449. So, like Charles just said, I believe Seattle's stadium is going to be invaded by purple.
Are there
Seattle's
fans
very
that hurt?
gettable. Yes,
This is something I learned from a guy that did a podcast before about buying seats. He would always get a seat to the opposing team, and he'd fly and he'd go out there and watch the games.
That's
Our,
insane.
That's the reason why Packers on the Rocks couldn't make it too as well. He was flying back from Seattle from the game.
Oh yeah,
He went to the game with some friends, girlfriend and their friends, and he said they had a fantastic time. And we just got back so late. So next week maybe
It's gotta be hella cheaper
to go to a road game. Yeah,
to go to a road game than go to bro. For the wife and I gets us field end zone tickets every couple of years because it's so fucking expensive. It's $400 a ticket for us to sit in the end zone, bro. You mean to tell me that I could?
You want me to? Or what's the next? All right, just who did the Packers play on the road this year? You can't be the Bear game because that's going to be super expensive.
Sure.
We know we play the Bears at home anyways.
So who did they play? Who's their last away game?
Minnesota.
All right, that's going to be
expensive. Because we have the Saints.
That's a premium game too.
Yeah, so we're fucked no matter what we do. We have the Saints at home, then we have Minnesota on the road, and then we have the Bears at home.
So if you want to go sit,
I tell you what, we should start doing
$753 to sit in the end zone for the Vikings game. Yeah, no.
What we should do, what I'm going to do next year, and no, I can't because we're buying the house. But after we buy the house, what I am going to get tickets for each of those games, but then I'm going to sell them to away fans for double the price.
I would, especially if you're playing well.
I walked up to some Vikings fans when the wife and I went. We would have given you $900 a fucking ticket for those. Like, that sucks. I paid $800 for these. You mean to tell me I could have turned $1,000?
Yeah,
and I do. That you do all the time.
Yep.
Oh, so mad. Anywho.
Do you have the picks in front of you? How did we do last week?
Oh, Lord Jesus, Lord help me.
Or did we forget about this? I don't know if we actually did it correctly.
Oh, Lord Jesus, Lord help me, Lord Jesus, help. Jeez. Nope, we did it correctly. Okay, cool. Yeah. We didn't get Mike. We did give him Buffalo versus Detroit. We'll catch Mike back up when we catch Mike back up.
We'll give him 2 picks if we have to or whatever.
Yeah, it'll be too easy. Yeah, it'll be too easy, lemon squeezy. Chuck's got the. What did I have here? I had the Rams 49ers. I had the Rams winning. I did get that one. I had the score being 35-23 and the score ended up being 12-6.
That was a terrible game.
I feel like that was more of a loss. Shout out Deebo Samuel for just being a terrible football player. Right.
I was going to ask you, how upset at you at his underperforming?
Bro,
That's not even the word for what he did. No.
It's rain. It was raining on. Fucking NFL football player.
What was it, like 4 points? Don't feel bad. Cooper Kupp gave me shit.
And Saquon gave you shit. Henry gave me shit. Henry gave me 6.5 points.
You scored more than 100 points. Shut up.
I did. I got a $140.
Speaking of which, did you see the Cooper Kupp cartoon video of like him just like kicking rocks outside of the stadium? They're like he did more pissing off the rocks than he did actually catching footballs.
Did you see the Deebo Samuels one?
No.
Where he dropped the fries?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were telling you know that little. It's a little thing. They were saying, like, you put the fries in the bag, and he was. They were.
You dropped the fries.
I'm not trying to say this is what's happening, but I don't think Cooper Kupp wants to play in LA anymore.
It doesn't fucking matter anymore because he's useless at this point to me.
I just I just think that Cooper. I think he thinks he's not the number one option anymore. He isn't.
He's
Puka's the number one option.
he's not the number one option. That's the crazy thing.
And I think he wants to be the number one option. So he'll be any other team in the NFL would take him in a heartbeat. That's not a question.
So Paul, after winning, decided losing was his best option. He had Dolphins versus Texans. He chose the Dolphins.
Bad idea.
Bad idea.
Patrick had the Panthers versus the Cowboys, and the Panthers were a 10-point favorite. All right, so
Yeah.
I'll give you that one. But you picked the Panthers to win 24-21.
I thought I had a shot. Charles, did you get the Seahawks Packers game correct?
30-13.
Yeah, I thought you had 30 to something.
I had 30 to something. I think it was 15 though.
Okay. I said on the show last night, I was like, yeah, I believe Charles was much closer on his pick than I was because I think I had it a 7-point game and you had it a double-digit win.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a lot of faith in our defense. There's a lot of things that made me proud about that game, to be honest with you. A lot.
Next week is this next week is another game for them to get right with the defense. Hafley needs to work on some blitz packages. Let's figure this shit out.
I think we can create a nice game plan against the Saints that we can mirror, not mimic, against the Vikings.
Come on, Bears, beat the Vikings for us so we can beat them head-to-head and get the number 6 seed or number 5 seed.
You said Bears we lost.
No, you get to play them. You get to play them again this week.
No.
The Lions.
Oh, the Lions. I thought you meant the Vikings. I'm like, we lost to them twice already. We're literally not.
I expect you to play the Lions. Listen, you're 2-16 in the last 18.
The reason I say this is because I don't want the Lions to have the division locked up. I want them to lose so that the division isn't locked up and they have to play for something when they play Minnesota. Yeah, it has nothing to do with them not. I just want Minnesota to have to keep both those teams not to rest anybody.
I've never rooted for the Bears in my life, and I've now rooted for them twice.
Yeah.
I'll be rooting for them this week.
You ready to get disappointed?
No. I'm not expecting them to win.
Only 6 points, man.
I don't expect them to win at all, but I'm rooting for them.
Well,
I'm not going to be disappointed.
Listen, for all Bears fans, we appreciate your enthusiastic confidence in us, but put it towards something else.
No, I think more Bears fans should take my approach. I'm rooting for you, but I don't expect you to win.
I'm with you. You got 90% of Bears fans that think we still got a chance. At what?
Yeah. I mean,
honestly, I think we should bench Caleb too. Hell,
why?
What's the point of keeping him? He's gonna die out there in the next 3 games, and I'd rather him.
We've already discussed.
And I'd rather him not get the all-time sack record for a season. I'd rather not have that.
He needs to be out there because he needs to learn how to drop his sack rate by 50%.
Do it next year. Don't worry about it next year.
No, you have to do it this year. Dang, bro. Can you imagine an off season thinking about next season after taking 70 sacks and not figuring out how to throw the ball away? At bare minimum,
you're making my anxiety go up.
That's what I'm saying. At bare minimum, you want to be able to see a progressive upward trajectory. The kid threw the ball away and ran with it. And we're not sitting here saying, we've already discussed, we think we can more or less, if you're taking 4.3 sacks a game, 1.8 of those sacks is on you. That means all you have to do is throw the ball away once and run with it the other time. That's what we're looking for with this kid. It's not too much to ask for at this point. The beginning of the season, it was playoffs. Not from you, but he even texted the punter. I hope that punter leaves.
This is the thing. By the time we got to Detroit, by the time we got to you guys, we easily could have been, if we would have won those 3 NFC North games back to back, easily, even losing to Arizona, if we won to Washington, that's 5-2. Lose to Arizona, 5-3. You add those 3 close losses to you guys, that puts us at 8-3 right now. At that point,
just checking this out to see how this is going to work if we do the spin a wheel thing.
take into consideration scores.
Yeah.
What's that?
For example,
Yeah.
Okay, you got the win, but your score was terrible, so that's a loss. Like you got to
Not so crazy over-under type shit.
We'll add a plus or minus 4, or we'll start off at 5, and as you win, if you win 2 in a row, you lose a number. You lose 2 in a row, you gain a number. So it'll allow for fluctuation, and then we'll just
dude, we're doing a pick'em. We're doing a thing for pick'ems next year. There's gonna be a trophy. There's gonna be something. We're gonna do something for this. We got to make this very competitive.
Yeah, because it's boring beating your guys' ass every year.
Oh,
Hey,
wow.
hey,
You know,
go play in traffic.
That's on us giving you the easy one. You gave him all the easy ones.
Get over
We all
yourself.
pick the same fucking teams and games all year.
Damn you! Give him all the easy ones.
You know what, Patrick? Don't worry. I'm gonna make sure I give you a real easy one this week. No spicy for you.
Bears lines.
Heap hope anonymous.
Heap.
I don't.
Listen,
you know what? Listen, you two versus me. If that's how you guys want to play it.
First of all,
we'll start.
You're getting aggressive.
Like a game.
You're getting real aggressive, and I don't appreciate it.
You
look at crazy eyes.
You were talking about giving them Bears Lions.
Allegedly.
All right. So, as we're going into this next week,
let's see what the score week. Let's see what the week looks like.
All right, I'll let y'all decide how this goes, how the pick'em goes. Go.
I'll pick for Patrick.
Okay. Bears Lions.
Nah, that's way
Bears Lions.
I'm actually going to give you the most interesting game of the week. Falcons and Giants.
The most interesting one?
Yeah. Because one, they're 8.5. However, now they just switched quarterbacks. So
I can't believe that it hasn't even moved.
No, not yet.
Oh, it did. It moved to half a point. I have 8 now. I don't care who the quarterback is for Atlanta. New York doesn't want to win this football game. I got Falcons 34, Giants 10.
Damn.
Yeah, there's no way that the Giants even want to win this game. They're just going to lay down. They're tanking for the number 1.
I wish the Bears would lay down.
But the thing is, even if the Bears lay down the rest of the season, they're getting the top. They're getting like
I just need top 10.
Bears are exactly where they need to be.
They're going to be 10.
Yeah, I just need top 10. I don't need anything less than that.
Because
because we don't need a quarterback. We don't need anything that's in the top 3-4 picks anyway.
No, you can actually trade that and maybe trade back and get 2
some capital and get something in the second round.
I would if I was the Bears 100%.
I would trade it away, get some picks for the second and third round, and stack up.
Paul, it's just not going to happen with the
Not
Bears.
even remotely close.
No.
They're going to do something stupid. They're probably going to get a defensive rusher.
Am I picking for Charles now?
Yes, sir.
All right. I got one even better than that.
Oh, Lord.
All right.
Huh?
I got Eagles, Commanders.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Philly doesn't need this game. They have the division locked up. The Commanders need this to make the playoffs.
They need that wild card spot.
It's at Philly.
It's in Washington.
It's in Washington.
Okay.
And I believe it's a Philly pick'em though. So
and
it's
here's the
actually
thing.
not a pick'em. It's a Philly by 3.
And here's the thing. If Mike was here, he would tell you, we absolutely need this game. We can still win first place. We can't win first place if we lose to Washington. We're not going to lose to Washington.
But you can. You definitely can.
Listen.
Will they? Probably not.
Saquon has arguably been shut down the last few weeks. I think teams have figured out they haven't figured out how to stop him, but they figured out how to slow him down. I think I should have maybe said that. But that's probably because they don't need to use him either. They don't need to overutilize the best asset they have.
You got to save that man for the playoffs.
Absolutely, 100%.
So, what has Washington done the last 2-3 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks, that makes any anybody think that this game's going to be close?
Well, it was close to. Didn't they already play?
Yeah, 26-18.
It was close first time.
I'm not saying that they're going to win. I'm just saying that there is a possibility for them to pull an upset. Because in theory, this would be an upset. If Mike was here, he'd be saying that I'm fucking retarded and I'm on crack.
No, but you're right, Charles. In the last 3 weeks,
They're 2-5.
A loss to Pittsburgh, lost to Philly, lost to Dallas,
and then they won against the Titans.
Beat the shitty Tennessee.
They smacked them around,
and then they barely beat the Saints. No, if I was a betting man, I would say this game isn't close. But they need this game, and it's at home. It's way different when you absolutely need the game to make the playoffs. They're fighting for their playoff lives.
They really are, and it's a division game,
which makes me believe that this is going to be
closer than we think. But
I think it's going to be a disgusting game.
You think it's a blowout?
Yes, I do.
By Philly?
I believe Philly wins this by 13 or 17. $34-17.
All right.
Yeah, I like that. Philadelphia 34-17. Offensively, Washington has had breakout plays. That's what they get. The team that they were 6-7, the first 6-7 weeks is not who they are anymore. Most of their scoring plays and scoring drives come from broken situations over these last handful of weeks. Philadelphia is really good at not allowing broken plays. They've got Vic Fangio, who Mike has mentioned numerous times. I think defensively they're in a much better position than they were even the last time they faced Washington. I think with this newfound passing game along with the run game, I see this being pretty lopsided. And what is that game? What time is that game?
Noon.
It's a noon game?
Yeah.
Thank God. Thank God we are not going to be forced to witness that baloney.
Baloney.
Yeah.
Bologna?
Yeah, I'm super serial right now, gang. I'm super serial. December 21st. Oh, those are Saturday games. All right, Paul. Mr. PR.
Yes.
I'm stuck right now between the Broncos, Chargers, Steelers, Ravens, or Browns, Bengals. Oh yeah, I'm bringing it. I'm bringing it. But I think I'm going to give you the Broncos, Chargers. I'm going to give you the Broncos, Chargers. Broncos, Chargers.
Tomorrow, Thursday night's game.
Yes, sir.
Disley is still out. Ooh, my dogs are barking at somebody.
Fuck around and find out.
This is also a playoff implication game. And in the division as well. So it's probably going to be a tough game. Top defenses in the game. I'm going to go Drew Brees 2.0 to outplay the quarterback whisperer. What?
Nothing. Keep going.
I'm going to go Denver. The over-under is 42. I'm going to say Denver drops 24 on them.
Okay.
And the Chargers get 17.
24-17. Nice. All right. No, I thought all of us picked the road team to win, but I had Patrick's mixed up. Patrick is picking a home team, so we've got two roadies and a homie.
A homie.
All righty, fantastic. Let's see. Oh, we won't see each other again until after Christmas, hey?
Yeah, on Monday I'm gonna be on a boat for 7 days.
A boat.
Nice.
We're going on a cruise, family cruise. So I will be out of I have Wi-Fi, but don't expect me to do much. I'm gonna be busy doing stuff with the family, enjoying Christmas time in the Bahamas and stuff like that.
Send pictures of the ocean every once in a while.
Yeah. So
Yep.
this is gonna be my second time on a cruise. The last time I was on a cruise, I won at the casino $556.
A casino.
Okay, so
I'm
this
gonna try
time
to do
make
that
the goal.
again.
Yeah. Just
Either
don't
match
lose
that or double.
75. There it is. Double.
So
Well,
and
cool.
my wife's good at craps, and they got a craps machine there. We're gonna have fun. This is gonna be a fun time.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
I'm gonna take a lot of pictures, and it's gonna be great.
That's fantastic.
What are you guys doing for this Christmas holiday?
Family spent.
Yeah, ladies, in-laws. We did Christmas last weekend with my parents, so now it's Christmas with Mandy's family this upcoming season.
I hope you guys have a good holiday, man. I hope you guys get full and
Yeah, you
fatter. And
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to up the home insurance policy after this Christmas for sure. The exchange, man, it gets me every time. They gave me one of them the star cards. Yeah. Lint liquors. Anybody got anything else they want to add? Or
I got one thing. Hold on one second.
okay.
I can't say it around my child. I am thankfully and just full of joy, happiness, and butterflies that he is not going to make the playoffs this year. And with that being said, with no longer having to say his name after today, fuck Aaron Rodgers.
Hopefully he's benched after today.
Oh,
It's been a good year, fellas. It's been a good year.
Can't believe next week's Christmas already.
We're about to be in 2025, and mark my words, Charles and Patrick. 2025 is going to be our year for this podcast. I'm putting it on the map right now.
I agree with you.
They're going to know our names. Hopefully in all the best ways.
You're going to know my name. I hope to be enshrined like the gladiators were at one point in time. I would like a statue.
You want to get do you want to get inducted into the Radio Hall of Fame?
Not a Dwayne Wade statue, but like
please, at least make it look like you.
Yeah.
What if we all at one
limestone.
point? What if in 2-3 years we all just decide, hey, let's just go make a bunch of Hall of Fame busts just to have on our shows, just because we got these big old bronze heads sitting in the background. What's wrong with these guys? We're that good.
Why not? It just takes a couple clicks and a few shares. That's all it takes.
Listen,
that's all it takes.
You need is one.
Well, Patrick, you got anything else?
No, we're good. We're good. Hope everybody has a happy, safe holidays, and we'll see everybody back. Let me see here. About 2 weeks.
Yeah. Perfect. Listen, everyone out there, it's here. We finally made it.
Yep.
Xmas is upon us. For those of you that, of course, celebrate it, for those that are celebrating other things, we also appreciate you and everything you do. And don't forget to hit us up with a comment to share some of your experiences that differ from the presents under the tree type scenarios. We love to hear from you. We love to hear all of that. Sports is a major part of our lives. Obviously, we talk about it a lot, but of course, the things we care about most are each other, our families, and everyone around. And those are the things that make the holidays better and brighter. It's not so much the materialistic things, as much as the credit card companies want to make you believe that. It's definitely more about the smiles generated.
Yeah.
Which is a funny story and super quick, but it comes with a question. If I were to give both of you separately $73 million.
Mm-hmm.
Would you take it?
Yes, sir.
Paul?
Of course.
Now, what if I told you that you would die the next day if you took it?
No.
No.
Okay, so just waking up tomorrow is worth more than 72, quote, 144 collectively $1 million.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? So that is the most important thing about life. We have the most valuable thing in front of us every day, and it's never guaranteed. So appreciate each one of them.
Yeah.
And that's what I like to do. And that's what we do here on the show. We super care about you, and we love you more.
The child of the mind, all rest of the blind. Yeah, go now, betting your line. In school, I see the bag. My beat stick, bring your eye. At avoiding the light skin, the style.